So a black woman posed as a white woman during job hunts. And guess what happened? Here it is.
I'm unemployed, babes. And I've been on many interviews, and I mean many. Like, I can't even keep track. But this time, it's different. I've been hit with one closed door from another. Like, what more do you want from me? With one project to another interview? Like, what do you want? But then, somebody said I wasn't corporate enough.
Bitch, suck my
Alright, finding a job is already hard enough for everybody. But on top of that, being black in corporate spaces is a very unique experience. I've been taught at a young age I have to work twice as hard to even get half of the opportunity. I was taught to take rejection to the chin and to keep going. Despite being the best of the best in the room. Look, I know some folks are gonna be like, it can't be that bad. But I've done my research and there's too many stories about the black experience in work and during the interview process. Studies show that white applicants were 45% likely to be called back for an interview than black applicants. So I did my own experiment. And I was curious, you guys gotta give me a break. I need to know. For 8 months, I was a catfish to see if Emily gets more interactions with recruiters. I wasn't shocked, but I was. Maybe corporate isn't for me.
Wow. Put it up. Full mass. This is called a case study. Okay, a black woman posed as white during job hunt and got more offers. Aliyah Jones decided to catfish. We have the background. Aliyah Jones conducted an 8-month experiment to expose racial discrimination in corporate America. After receiving more than her fair share of no's from potential employers, Jones decided to see if she would get more replies to her profile if she changed her name to Aliyah Jones and from Aliyah Jones, an experienced marketing strategist from the DMV, to Emily Osborne. Emily Osborne is a white woman from Los Angeles. And as you can probably imagine, hiring managers showed Emily's CV way more love. Jones documented her 8-month corporate catfish experiment in a docuseries called Corporate Catfish: Being Black in Corporate America. Genius. Which she shared on social media. The viral reaction from thousands of people who saw Jones' story let her know that she was just scratching the surface. Now, Jones wants to turn her viral social media clips into a full-length documentary, and we want to help. A Kickstarter campaign to help fund her project has raised more than $10,000. Quote, "My goal is to finish my documentary and include the many people who poured into my DMs, wanted to share their own experiences that they've been holding on to for years." She wrote on Instagram, quote, "I know y'all say it is what it is, but sometimes it isn't. Sometimes it's pain we've normalized, stories we've silenced, and realities we've accepted because we thought no one would listen. This documentary is my way of saying we see you, we hear you, and your story matters." Let's keep that up. I encourage everyone, if you're able to make a contribution to this, here's why. They are stealing the truth away from public education. They already were teaching a watered-down version of it. Now they're teaching you an outright lie. So you can't go to the traditional spaces inside of public educational sectors that normally would teach at least a symbolic reference to the truth, and you can teach the rest. That's gone. Now you have your museums being targeted as well, especially those that receive any level of government funding. Civil rights museums have been affected. But you have people like her. Put it back up again for me. You have people like Miss Jones, who says, "I'm willing, I'm ready, I'm capable, I'm able, I just need $1 or $2." And it becomes a lesson that lives in perpetuity online that can be taught to our young people, all right? Keep truth alive. This is how you do it. Professor, thoughts?
Oh, absolutely. So, several different like really important points here, right? So first of all, many people just get triggered with the
Mm,
feeling like that, hey, I didn't do anything wrong, like I'm white, I didn't do anything wrong, like so then don't blame me for these inequalities. And the answer to that is yes, it's not about blaming you. It's about recognizing that there are certain systems that exist, that have existed over time, and those systems follow histories that are rooted in inequalities that may not be about you, but could be tied to ancestors, maybe not your ancestors, but someone else's ancestors. So why don't we just look at it as getting systems more correct, getting systems more right? I mean, this is just me. Like, I know it's sort of naive for me to even say this, but I'm just wondering why we can't get to the point where we recognize it's not about someone being at fault or blaming someone because of the color of their skin or their ethnicity. It's about recognizing that history is what's happening.
that's right.
Even if like someone who's born in our generation or a younger generation may not have done things that are discriminatory in and of themselves. So the only way you resolve issues, I mean, think of everybody who's listening and watching this, think about like issues you may have in relationships with work, relationships with partners, relationships with family members. Those don't just go away. You have to actually acknowledge and deal with the problems that occurred, engage in dialogue, and deal with the issues, right? And that's the same thing when it comes to discriminatory practices that are legacies of histories that are parts of ongoing practices. But there's one other issue that I just want to that I want to emphasize. More and more work is going to be replaced by big tech companies. It has been shown, we're already seeing it with the gig economy. A number of my students, graduates from UCLA, top university, are driving for Uber right now. We have seen how gig economy, the automation of labor via AI, and many AI systems that are being used in making insurance deductions, policing, courtroom systems, hiring decisions, HR decisions are shown again and again and again to be discriminatory, beyond discriminatory. Why is it? Is because a lot of those systems are being written by engineers who don't understand social and humanistic thinking. Not that I'm not even trying to blame them. They're not trained that way. So they reinforce their own worldviews. And these systems themselves learn from the inequities of the past and the present, right? And then they normalize that in invisible ways where people say it's just technology. That's why we're seeing courtroom systems making predictions for Black defendants at much higher sentences, even if they never committed a felony and a white defendant did, because they're learning from what we call environmental data, and they're reinforcing these biases. So we're going to normalize inequality and make these problems worse and worse and worse unless we actually deal with them. So why not just deal with problems? It's fun, it's creative, it's exciting, gets us out of drudgery of everyday life. Let's deal with these problems. And that's why I think work like what she just did with this documentary is very important, because it reveals the underlying machines that generate inequality, including systems that might be human created.
That's right. And it becomes light, the great disinfectant
Yeah.
to darkness. I encourage everyone to continue
Oh,
bringing your light.
one
Yes.
last thing, if I can interject. Research has shown, and this is not progressive stuff or Young Turk stuff, Goldman Sachs and companies like that, McKinsey, their research has shown, but McKinsey in particular has shown that diverse teams always tend to outperform in terms of corporate performance teams that are more homogenous. Why is that? Because we're different based on our different identities. Doesn't mean we're only that identity. I'm not only brown. I'm not only male. It's
Right.
that those identities inform my ways of thinking about problems and developing solutions, just like other people. So you have more you have more fuel to resolve problems and make the right decisions. So that's why the kind of big corporates, consultants like McKinsey recognize the importance of these forms of diversity, not because of civil rights or justice, but because of performance.
And that's a powerful dynamic. It's unfortunate that we have to utilize various catalysts to get us to a space of unity, when the truth is we all came here from the same place, regardless of your belief system.
That's right.
Regardless of your belief system, we all came fundamentally from the same place.